Welcome, Gemini, to your Timeless Empowerment reading. This Oracle card reading is for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, or it's possible that the title of the video drew you in. We are, after all, an amalgamation of a bunch of zodiac aspects. So if it is that time for you to receive this message based on the title, you may find yourself wanting to watch the video. I chose to make these videos timeless because everyone goes through different healing processes and transformations at different times. And that way, because we are going to be focusing on healing and we're going to be focusing on particular areas in your love life and things of that nature, timing is everything. So you'll see this just when the message is right for you. If you are new here, my name's Debbie Dubois. Welcome to my channel. Glad to have you here. In my channel, we talk about spiritual empowerment. We talk about spiritual awakening, and we do talk about the new incoming love relationship blueprint. So we're going to get started. And the first thing I want to do is say, yes, that is a Christmas tree behind me. It is a crystal tree that it's loaded with crystals. I use it for meditation. It rotates. It's beautiful. And I don't want to take it down yet. So there's a part of me that's saying, move on, move on. We need to move on. There's also a part of me saying, if it brings you spiritual peace and tranquility, so be it. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to pull a healing card from the Intuit Soul Expansion Trio. This will be the focus of what we're going to look at for Gemini. So what does Gemini need to focus at this time, the collective? And I want to say that if you want to give a boost to my ability to read your energy as part of this collective in this reading and in future readings, a really good idea is to like the video and subscribe to my channel. That way, as I'm doing my readings, I can read into your energy as well, more specifically, because I am looking at a collective of the Gemini right now. So you might want to do that if you feel. Okay, so addiction comes up. Addiction. Let's find out what addictions we're talking about. And then I'm going to use the focus card to just get a little bit of a narrowing down on what kind of, we're all addicted to everything. Let's face it, we're in a disempowerment chamber, and that's how they keep us under control, right? What can we be addicted to today? Is it going to be food? Is it going to be the news? What's it going to be? So let's just see. Technology. Wow. This is going to be a powerful reading, Gemini. And I got to tell you, I am part Gemini. I am Ascendant Gemini, 18 degrees. I'm actually more of a Gemini and an Aquarius moon than I am a Sagittarius, which I'm a Sagittarius. I'm 0% Sag. So addiction to technology. Oh, this is going to be fun. All right. So I'm going to be using, I think, you know what? I'm going to use the Zodiac 108 for this reading. The Zodiac 108 is calling to me. I will take, it's actually called the Zodiac 180 now. We've upgraded the deck. I will take a moment to tell you that this channel is loosely sponsored by Intuit Oracle because that's my business with my partner. My business partner, Kimberly Aria, who does an amazing job at creating these cards. And this is how I got reading. Gosh, back in maybe 2017, 16, 15, when she came out with these cards, I couldn't put them down. I was doing readings before that, but and I became her business partner. We are in the business of helping people learn how to read cards for themselves. That's why you will find there's Anam Karam on the bottom of the deck, keywords on cards. And what I find is that these words jump off at you. You know your situation better than anyone else. Don't kid yourself. We don't realize how much we know. But all of this is aligned with my mission here, which is to help empower people to get in touch with their own inner knowing. So this goes hand in hand so nicely. So if there is a way you want to support the channel, you can just go ahead and check. If you like reading cards or whatever, go check out either the Intuit store or Etsy. There's a link below. And this deck, the Intuit Oracle and the Zodiac 180, they're both 180. They're 180 cards altogether. I'm in love with these decks. And it is why it's why I'm doing these videos, because I absolutely love reading cards. I love bringing forward empowerment messages. All right, so the first card that we've got is the Bonfire. So, oh my gosh, addiction and technology. Is that like, with everything that's happening right now in the world? Okay, we got the biker. Yeah, I want to make sure my mic is on. Yes, it is. Okay, just double checking. I just recorded a segment for Gemini, and unfortunately, I didn't have my microphone on. Technology is enough to drive me crazy. But yeah, I just saw that the crypto market and the stock market and everything tanked because China just came out with this thing called deep sleep, deep, I don't know what it's, deep something. And it's way, way more powerful than Chat GPT. I'm like, oh my gosh. All right, we got the cabin. Oh, interesting. Insulate, disengage. Well, that goes really good with a technology addiction, doesn't it? We got the knot. It's a complex situation. All right, so I'm just going to pull this. And I will tell you that I found a way to do a really good overhead reading. So once I pull these cards, we've got friends. Once I pull these cards, I'm going to go ahead and move to an overhead view, because part of what I love is I love showing people how I come up with the information. It's coming from my knowing. Obviously, it's all coming from our own inner knowing. I got Anakaram. Isn't that interesting? We just saw that at the bottom of the deck. But my joy is not just, like reading psychically into a situation, but to show you that whatever's coming out in my own inner knowing is reflected in the cards, and it's reflected in the position of the cards. So I was very excited when I found a way to easily do overhead view. I like being on camera because I really love relating with, with my Geminis. I really love relating with you and connecting with you. But there's nothing better than being able to show you where I'm getting some of my information from. And already, all right, I got Symphony. Already, I think the information that's coming in for me, the channeling of information that's, starting to brew here, is we have to find a way to break our addiction to technology. But there has to be a balance here. There has to be a balance. We got the gavel. I mean, for example, my job, what I do, requires technology. So it then becomes, okay, if we're forced to deal with technology, how do we identify that which we're addicted to and that which is part of our creative expression? And I'm thinking of a particular Gemini right now. You know who you are. It's working with AI art, and beautiful AI art, I will like to add. And I'd like to think that the work that I'm doing here is pretty important. And I have technology. I have, camera. I have editing software. I have, to make thumbnails. I have to do all this stuff. And let's say uncertain came up. So I'm going to go ahead and, just finish up my thoughts here. We have a great way to interact with technology if it's part of our creative expression. But where does the addiction come in? Oh, I know. I was going to say that with my Etsy business, I mean, I have to be on my phone. So I even have eye issues, dry eye issues, blue light issues and stuff dealing with technology. This addiction to technology, this is something that we've got to figure out. And I'm going to help do that right now. We're going to go to a tabletop view. Let's see what the cards have to share with higher perspectives and guidance on how we can kind of heal this. Wow, these are some super powerful cards when it comes to addiction and technology. I've got to say, the first thing that comes to me is the knot, and how technology and our relationship with technology is an extremely complicated situation. It is something that needs to be solved. It is something that is, in one sense, holding things together. In other words, it's almost like there's an intelligence here that is able to process great deal of information or give us the tools we need. However, I mean, it impacts so many different, and this shows up in the symphony card, right? It is a way, where were we before social media? I mean, a lot of us are really remembering before technology. A lot of people that watch my readings may not have even had technology when they were growing up, right? So, to see the change in how we've been able to collaborate all over the world. I mentioned my friend who's done some beautiful AI art. She's in Australia. And where would we be if we didn't have this kind of connection? Oh, it's so interesting. My kitty has been going crazy. Okay, you're going to have to get down. I've got a kitten and she's just crazy all over the place and up on my table. She's here to visit, give her energy to balance the technology, right? Um, but the symphony is, the technology has enabled us to be connected and to work together and to organize, right? To assemble, to co-create. And it's such an important part of what's happening right now. That's what makes this such a complex situation. This is not black and white, right? I want to say, here's the friendship card. Again, how would we be able to connect and stay in touch with our past life friends, really? Because we all go on, to different lifetimes within one lifetime. All of a sudden, we're having 5 lifetimes in one lifetime. This is a way where we don't leave the old ones behind. We still have the connection. But I see here, the friend card also says meet in person. So, I'm getting here that obviously there really right now has to be a balance. And I want to say what comes to mind is a word that keeps popping in for everything, and that's awareness. We need to become very aware of what we're dealing with. All right, so there's also some other things in here. There's 2 things in here that are standing out to me, the biker and the cabin. And the biker is the lone wolf, and the cabin is, detaching and going within. So this is almost like the polar opposite of the friends and the symphony. So we've got 2 sides of the same coin. So at the same time as we are more easily being able to connect with friends through this kind of technology, it's almost like we have to find ways to balance the time that we spend alone. Do you see the first words on both of those cards? Lone wolf and lonely. And when I think of lone, I think of, this is our creator being selves. This is our creator being selves that identifies itself outside of the technology and knows its true power. So while it's that whole thing of be in this world, you're in this world, but not of this world. It's almost like we need to remember and become aware that there is our larger selves needs to be segregated and separated out from that collective push there's a balance that needs to be struck here. And that's what's come from me from the very beginning, is we have to label what are we using as tools and what is actually addictions. And it's almost like the awareness is what's really needed here. Now, I want to say the bonfire is coming to me with the word awareness, which is we have to be aware of when technology is bringing forward our passion. And again, I'm going to use my friend, and her name is Maria. Hi, Maria. The passion that she has for creating some of these amazing, amazing AI art, because it is all demonstrative of different aspects of this realm. It lights her up. It's her passion. And so when we're looking at creative expression and we're looking at what we're here to do, um, if technology is a part of that, then it is a tool we use. But what I'm getting is the tool that we use is different than the tool using us. And what brings that about is awareness. And how do you get awareness? You remember to disengage. You remember to go within. You remember to keep yourself apart from it, and take breaks from it, and continue to claim your sovereignty over it, if you will. All right. It's interesting here, and I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth right now as I'm looking at Anakaram and Emerald. Obviously, this is about love. This is about relationship. This is about infinite love, unchanging love, relationship. It's also about, again, free flowing love, heart chakra, reflection, healing, peace. These are the essential qualities that we need to balance that technology with. It's like, and I'm sitting here and the gavel comes up a lot for me. What I want to say is what comes out at me is pay attention. Again, be aware of what's happening. This is a serious situation. It's a complex situation, but it is serious. And we need to bring the order to the chaos. We need to make decisions and be very assertive about decisions that we are going to figure out how to overcome some of the difficulties. This is a riddle to solve. This is something that we need to deal with, because at this time, and I'm gonna actually say this loosely, the situation or outcome is undetermined. What this energy says to me is not that there isn't a certain victory of the light. There absolutely is. But the uncertainty is how is this going to be navigated? How are we going to navigate the introduction of technology that just came in from China that dwarfs ChatGPT? It's going to make ChatGPT look like child's play. And it's going to, I can't even, this is uncertain. What is the impact of this technology? Because while we know that we want to remain in our heart centers, remain in our own inner knowing, in our own strong relationship with our higher self, with love, with our heart, the devotion that we have to moving into higher vibrational spaces, we're going to have to contend with these shifts and changes. And the uncertain card just says, how do we do that? Well, I think the answers are here in that we bring awareness to that which is passion calling us. Are we using the technology, or is the technology using us? To become aware, right? To become aware of when you need breaks from it, because you find yourself scrolling on social media mindlessly, getting sucked into things. Or for example, I really am enjoying watching this movie play out on the global stage. So when I'm looking at X, or I'm looking at TikTok, or I'm looking at some of those, it's usually blocks periods of time where I'm going into the global to get a sense of what are the energies here. But I'm going with awareness and I'm going with consciousness. And what it requires, and this is where we have to divide ourselves out, disconnect, is when you see or feel into the fact that you're feeling negativity or energies of that kind where you don't feel like you're in control, or you're in your heart center. It's super important to be able to ascertain the situation, look at the situation, and make decisions to get off there, disconnect, go into something else. I typically, we're going to go into the love portion of the reading next. But before we do that, in this particular case, I do want to pull an Empower card. I want to find out what message our higher selves have for us in terms of dealing with technology and the addiction that it can be. And I think defining it, is it an addiction? Where is it an addiction? And where is it part of your calling? Because everything that's here can be used by us if it's used by awareness with the power of our creator being selves behind it. So, all right, let's see what this card says. I'm kind of excited. Well, this is interesting. Be responsible with your sexual energy. It's wise to do that. Well, it's funny because what jumps out is, that passion, the heated, orgasm, fanaticism, this ecstasy. I'm gonna reframe this sexual energy almost to be this ecstasy energy of, that is the seduction of the technology, is that, oh, this is exciting, this is new, this is, and this card, to me, the nature of the bee and the flower is to remember pollination, to remember that you are such an integral part of bringing the nectar of the higher self into this tangible world, and to be very, very responsible with that energy when it comes to technology. So I think I'm going to leave that part of the reading. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear the table, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to look into the love portion of this reading. And I want to loosely keep in, play addiction and technology, because it's interesting in love relationships now. Technology is an often important part, because I know that, I have met people in relationships on the internet, and a lot of us, that's people in the twin flame community. They're connecting across the globe, in relationship, and so technology and being addicted to the technological. I'm thinking, if the friends card, it was the friends card in this. Yes, it was. Right here, that show up and meet in person, right? This is also, I didn't give that enough emphasis now that I think about it. Soul tribe, being in contact, but also showing up in person. I think this is coming. I'm going to tell you that I think technology is coming that's going to get us around the globe faster. And I think that's where we collapse we have the natural technology. I'm just going to say it. When we are in our full creator being selves, we're going to be able to get around. And it's not going to be through tin can boxes or jump rooms to Mars or whatever technology is coming. It's actually going to be, we are the portal that enables us to move around. That is coming as part of, us showing the natural way of the technology. And that is what I'm getting to, is that the natural way of technology is what we are. We are that technology. So we're going to get continued reminders that we are the technology. All right, so we're going to switch on over to the love reading portion, and I'm using the Intuit Oracle, and I'm having, for whatever reasons, I'm having a hard time shuffling, and I'm not sure why. I'm not thinking clearly. It's kind of funny. Let me edit that part out, or maybe I'll just keep it, because it's fun to laugh at yourself when you're having a hard time. Yeah, but I don't want to stop shuffling. There's a reason. The cards are falling the way they are meant to fall. They're supposed to be this way. So, what I love about these cards is they're also, I don't like to abuse my cards, but you can shuffle these just like playing cards. That's the card stock of these. They're so amazing. I've loved these cards from the moment I put my hands on them. And we've had several editions. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the reading part of the love relationship. Let me just smooth out my tablecloth here. All right, let's see what is love for Gemini. Oh, we've got bird on a wire. News travels fast. But there's some untrustworthy information and maybe someone talking behind our backs. We've got, and I'm concluding myself, this is a reading for me as well here. We've got child, which is the feminine. This is the girl child energy, which is beginnings. So maybe you're talking, oh, so we're talking maybe some long distance. This might be a technology thing. We're talking news travels fast, loose lips. This can be kind of a negative card too. We've got the tree, which is past lives, connection to source, health, vitality, personal growth, inner guidance with the lighthouse. Central energy on this card is playfulness. So whatever's there in relationship is going to be light and playful at this time for you, Gemini. Interesting. I always think of the energy similar. I don't know why. All right, we're going to go ahead and we've got the Tower. And this isn't the Tower in the tarot. It's more about again, past lives, lifetimes. We got the Bridge. We've got some communication. Definitely got some communication, and it sounds like it's kind of playful. There could be some, I don't know, that's like manipulative, chatterbox, untrustworthy, or talking behind your back energies. We've got the Scythe, which is unexpected, something unexpected communication, it looks like. Let's see what else. Come on, talk to me. Ooh, we have some romance here. We have some romance. All right. What else have we got? That's too many cards. I'm just going to go ahead. What is it? I'm going to peek. Oh my God. All right. I am going to keep that card. Something told me to take a look at the bottom deck. And there it is. This card has been showing up in just about every love reading. I'm telling you. And this is a card that I'm going to also pull because it was that card that was just kind of popped out when I said too many cards. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep it off to the side here. And all right, I'm just going to take a moment to tune into these cards. First of all, this is the appearance of the twin flame card is just, it is underlining what I am saying, which is this new blueprint is underway. It is coming in. This is the one. This one, for those of you who have been looking and waiting for that right relationship, it is coming in. I keep saying, you know, it's unseen. That's why I wanted to keep this card. The iceberg talks about being unseen. This is a very complex situation that we're undergoing right now because we are literally transforming, each and every one of us that is, you know, heavily invested in love relationships. This is something that has been a driving force since we've been here in transforming relationships. And every experience we've had has helped us to heal, has helped us to awaken, has helped us to stand in our own power, break codependencies, and it's a work in progress to bring this relationship in. Everything that we do is rippling out. So the question here for Gemini is, where are we at in that process? And there's several things here on the table. And the thing that comes to me first and foremost is the lighthouse. You know, my friend Lisa often talks about becoming the lighthouse. You know, becoming the lighthouse is illuminating all that you are becoming. And you've had the inner guidance system that has helped you gain clarity on where you stand. It's helped you to heal. You've been going through this process of connecting to source, working on personal growth, your own health, being grounded. This is a lot of what, especially divine feminine, and that's not a man can have the divine feminine as the primary aspect in making the transformation. So this is not a sex, gender issue. This is the feminine has been working really hard on this grounding energy and becoming all that she can be, or all that he can be. And really what this has led to is maybe the ability to collaborate better, um, to be prepared to communicate better, to lighten up, to not project like insecurities and things onto other people, which enables you to have peace inside. Um, so I feel that message coming through is we want to tune into the energy inside of ourselves at this time, which is the playful energy of the dolphins, to look at things with more humor, to look at things with more fun, because that's one of the benefits that we get from all of the spiritual work that we've been doing. Um, now, I'm not going to try to work really hard to bridge the love relationship into the technology. However, we do have communication on the table. We do have sudden communication, maybe an accidental communication, like, oops, I didn't mean for that to happen, but it did. I didn't mean to contact that person. I sent something on a message and I didn't realize I did that. Um, but it's also, a surprise communication coming in, or a surprise connection, like collaborating on something. Maybe there's some sudden ability to overcome some barriers that you're having. But communication is often these days done through technology. Who doesn't communicate with their people on the cell phone, right? Or on their computer through social media. So, if we're looking at it, I guess the question is where is technology and your need for technology coming in with this communication? And how are you responding to it? Are you continuing to stay in your center and your grounding, or are you allowing it to knock you off center? That's just something you'll have to look into, and this card is just sitting here, and I'm going to read into this card because I'm like, okay, bird on a wire. It's not a more positive card. It is a communication card, though. It is. So, okay. So, right here, technology addiction. Maybe we're being asked to double check and make sure that we are not using technology in a way to pass along news travels fast, blabbermouth, loose lips. Maybe this is asking us to think before we share, think before we share, think before we reach out to someone, and what are we going to say? I want to say talking behind your back, more like as you're connecting with your social media and stuff, whether it's, you're looking at, particular profiles of people that you're interested in or whatever, that, just to be very aware that the technology can also be used in a more negative way by, and encouraging blabbermouths. I mean, let's face it. How many times do you get on posts, and it doesn't matter what kind of posts they are, and people are gossiping or spreading information about each other. So yeah, I don't know how that exactly falls under love relationships, but if you know of a certain situation in your life that is, and you're like, oh my gosh, that hits me just dead on, I would love to know in the comments. So we also have the moon energy, and this is the romance energy. This is aligning with your intuition. And I would say that as a divine feminine energy, which most people that are looking at these readings, it's not about gender, but it is about orientation as to where you're at in your spiritual process. And right now it does seem like in the new relationship blueprint, and I really want to say it's an ancient blueprint, you're going to be the person that has done a lot of spiritual work, and you're aligning with that romance. You're aligning with the fantasy of what that looks like to you. What does this relationship look like to you? You're getting aligned with that, and you're getting aligned with this soulmate twin flame energy, the deep soul connection, the one. And in doing that, that is asking you to really, really open up your heart and to out picture, your intuition, your fantasy, your subconscious. You're bringing in that blueprint. What does that blueprint look like for you? It is going to be different for everyone, which is why I believe that the blueprint is an amalgamation of all of the different flavors of what love looks like, from a non-codependent, healthy standpoint that for right now is like the iceberg. It's mysterious. It's buried memories because we don't remember what it looks like entirely. It's in the hidden depths of our soul. It is a very complex situation, almost like technology, right? And what I feel this reading is saying is, remember your inner guidance system. And it's kind of like, I'm not seeing any definitive like action happening right now for us, Gemini, in terms of, are we sitting there waiting for the one to show up right now? Probably not. Because my overall sense for us, Gemini, is that we're in the process of really tuning into our own inner knowing, in our own passion about what we're trying to accomplish, what we're doing here, what's our purpose, what's our passion. Obviously, a lot of us have technology in our passion. So how can we balance that? But this is speaking to, we're in a really good space for drawing in that energy. And again, this is a timeless reading. You may hit upon another Gemini reading that I'm just, starting out with these, that may be where you're at, and you might have someone absolutely coming in. At this time, this feels right for me. I'm in my own power. I am working on bringing in the energy of that counterpart. And you may have several people that you're feeling connection with. But right now, it seems more about remaining grounded, and keeping lighthearted, continuing to keep lighthearted through it. Allow the universe to bring to you those things. Like, there's from the past. The Tower card here also talks about long ago, from the past, take it slow. That's one of the things I'm getting big time, is that even if there is someone that has come into your sphere or your realm or your snow globe that is of interest to you, take it slow. This blueprint is unfolding slowly. So we do not want rushing in. If we rush in, we abandon all the things that we're here to do. And most of us that are actually probably watching this reading, we're actively doing things to bring in the new, or I should say, the restored realm that is not distorted. So I think it's a good time to leave that there. You know what? I'm going to pull an angelic message. This is a deck that we created with higher self messages. Very unique. I love this little deck, and something tells me that there's a message for us here in love. Let's see what it says. Let's see. What are these angelic frequencies? It doesn't even have to be an angel. Miracles happen every day. Be open to receive blessings in unexpected ways. Sudden, unexpected, maybe sudden, unexpected communication. So, all right, I'm going to leave the love portion of this reading here. Thanks so much, Gemini, for joining me in this reading. If you found some value in the video, please think about giving this a big thumbs up and maybe sharing it with a friend that's a Gemini or Gemini influenced. And there's a video that you might want to check out, which is my 2025 reading for the predictions for the coming year, wild energies. And sort of go along hand in hand with that, I created a video about 10 practical tips and coping strategies to deal with, to stay sane in this coming year, because it is going to get really intense. It already is. It's crazy out there. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.